Hello everyone, I'm Darren Appleton and this is my launch for Stick to Pool. So we're going to be talking about all things pool, going to be doing weekly podcasts, and in the future I'm going to do some watch-alongs. So a lot of you will see it in soccer if you're American, football to us from the UK or Europe. So yeah, you see a lot of these watch-alongs now, and I watch a lot of them. I'm pretty sure that a lot of you do as well. And the good thing is that you can interact with the person who's hosting the watch along, which will be me for the pool. So we'll be watching, let's say, the Mosconi Cup, and you can interact with me. I can see all your questions in the chat, see what you're all saying, and I can interact with you all. And as we watch along together, I think that's pretty exciting. It seems to be the big thing right now. So yeah, I will definitely be giving that a go. And I'll be doing weekly podcast, catch up on the weekly pool news, and I will have some cool guests on the show also. So yeah, this is the launch. Very excited about it. So this is my first episode. So yeah, this is my setup at the moment. Probably make some improvements as I go along. And we'll take it from there. Obviously, everyone's got to start somewhere. So here we are. So we're in August now. This week I fly to Las Vegas. They have the APA Championship going on right now. I think it just started today, which is like their national championships. Be about 15,000 players there. So I'm going to head there on Friday. I'll be there for about 10 days. We'll do a bit of coaching. Do a bit of marketing for my masterclass. So if you haven't seen my masterclass yet, go to prolinaris.com and you can see my podcast. And actually, I've got a poster in the background there, as you can see. And if you might be able to scan the code from here. So yeah, so I'll promote that. Go to the APA, mix a little bit. Do a bit of marketing, bit of coaching, and maybe getting some action as well. So, yeah, I think if I'm in Vegas, I will actually practice. I will put some work in, play some cheap sets, whether that's $50, $100, $200 sets, maybe even more, we will see. And maybe even play some one pocket. I haven't played one pocket for about 4 years and got a bit of an itch to play. So, and I know there's a lot of action in Vegas. So, yeah, I wouldn't mind playing some one pocket as well. But yeah, get over there, have a good time, relax a little bit, play some pool, and then from Vegas I will go to Salt Lake City. Got a couple of events on there with Jason Shaw, like exhibitions, appearances. So really looking forward to that. And from there, go to the US Open in Texas. So I will play the US Open. So as a previous champion, you sort of get invited to go back. You get free entry, so I've just got to pay my flight and hotel. So yeah, look forward to the US Open. It's been about 2 or 3 months since I played. I think the last time I played was the UK Open. No real massive reason. I haven't put a lot of work in lately. I've more so been relaxing, enjoying the summer, done a bit of fishing. I'm into my carp angling, if you don't know. So that's where you go for 2 or 3 nights, really. You need to be going for at least 2 nights. So I average like 2 or 3 nights, stay on the bank, got all my camping gear, all that stuff, and fish for carp, the big ones, which is not easy to catch, but when you get on them, it's great. And especially when you get the morning wake-up call at, let's say, 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and your alarm's ripping off, and your rods, your reels ripping off. So yeah, do some fishing. Obviously, enjoyed the World Cup. Probably the most I've ever watched football regards the World Cup. Watched a lot of games. Really enjoyed the World Cup. It was in America. I think they did a good job. Just a shame that England couldn't finish the job. Same old rubbish, really. Getting position to win, and they choked, really, and sat back and got punished for it. So yeah, back into the pool world now. There's quite a busy few months. So yeah, like I said, I go to America. I know right now they're playing the Florida Open. I decided to pull out of that. And then they got the Arizona Open. I decided to pull out of that as well. So more so that I have to be careful with my stamina, obviously with my health. If I'm playing too much and putting too much stress on myself and travelling too much. It can be a little bit of a danger for me. Just because my heart works at 29%, I take a lot of medication, so I have to be a little bit careful regarding my schedule. So I sort of prioritised. I thought, right, I'll go to Vegas, mix business with pleasure, really, and then get ready for the US Open. And then after that, I'll be on for 2 weeks. And then we've got the World 10 Ball Championships in Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh, one of my favourite places in the world. So really looking forward to that. Plus it's Pro Billiard Series. I really like the vibe there. The venues are great. Yeah, what I like about the Pro Series, let's say, over the WNT, no respect to WNT, I mean, the production's good, but their tables are way too close together, most events. Whether that's changed now, I'm not sure. I'll be able to judge better when I go to the US Open. But my biggest pet peeve, really, with these events is when the tables are too close together and you got to wait for someone on the next table or to your left or right to play his shot or play her shot. And it just disrupts your focus, your rhythm. And especially if you're not on top of your game, you sort of notice it a lot more. You get a bit frustrated. So where the Pro Billiard Series, they really space the tables out between the tables, so you don't have to worry about anything like that. You've got your own space, so you haven't got to wait for anybody, which I really like. And yet, I really enjoyed those events. There's a good vibe also, and the prize money is pretty good. We're going to go into that in a minute. So yeah, that's another thing really, is that you play these tournaments, whether it's the Florida Open, Arizona, even the Pro Billiard Series, or the WPA events, or Chinese events are different because for someone like me, they sort of pay your expenses, so you're getting a free hit. But prize money structure for me is the biggest problem in pool right now. It has been for a long time, but it just seems to have got worse and worse for some reason. So we're going to talk about the payouts. And actually, there's quite a few missing events. Just go under a bit of the radar a little bit. No one really speaks about them. So anyway, I will bring them up. And yeah, it's for me, it's with the prize structure, really. The prize money structure in these events is that I understand top-heavy prize money if there's a lot of prize money, if you know what I mean. So, for example, if you look at golf or tennis, any sport really, but I'm looking at tennis and golf because they're sort of similar individual sports in the main. So, I mean, if the winner gets $3 million, you don't really care, do you? Because if you finish second, you're getting $1 million. And if you finish third, you might get 500,000. If you finish fourth, you might get 400,000. And then it caters down. So let's say you finish 64th and you pick up $50,000, which in most golf tournaments you do, or tennis. So you don't mind about the winner, about the prize money being top heavy, because everyone's getting paid. It's like snooker and darts. So this is where Paul's getting it wrong for me. If you look at snooker and darts, right? I think if you win one match at snooker, so let's say if you're on the pro tour at snooker, I'm not too sure how many players it is, maybe it's 200, 128, wherever. But if you win one match at snooker, I'm pretty sure you're guaranteed about 2,000 or 3,000. I actually think you're guaranteed about 20,000, 30,000 pounds for the year for just being a professional. So that's a big help. So that sort of covers your expenses for the year. And if you win one match, I think you're on 2,000 or 3,000 pound. And then there's some tournaments where they get even more. So they might be on 5,000, 10,000, like the World Championships. So obviously the prize money is pretty good. So again, you don't really care if the winner gets, let's say, 200,000 pound and second place gets 80 and then it goes 40, 20, 10. You don't mind that because at least you're getting paid paid a decent amount of money for winning one match. And your expenses are covered anyway before you hit a ball. Because, as I said before, you're guaranteed that 20,000. I would imagine darts is very similar. Because darts, I would imagine that, well, there's more prize money in darts than there is snooker. It's, I think at the moment, the second biggest sport in the UK. It's just getting bigger and bigger. It's always been popular and big anyway, but since Luke Littler's come on the scene, it just seems to have doubled. Doubled in revenue, doubled in viewing figures. More and more people want to go to the darts, even though it was always busy anyway. but I would imagine the waiting list is even bigger, so they're expanding the venues, probably putting the ticket prices up. So yeah, it's all happening in darts, and I would imagine if you win a match at darts, you're on like good money, you know what I mean? Probably a lot more than you are snooker. So again, you don't mind, like Luke Littler, for example, he get £1 million for winning the World Championship. You don't mind that, because if you get beat in the final 64, I would imagine you're picking up $10,000-15,000 pounds, sorry, and I would imagine last 32, they're probably picking up like £20,000-30,000. So it makes a big difference. Where the problem with pool is that we're giving all the money to the winner, but the problem is that there isn't a lot of money in the game. So, for example, the Florida Open, what's happening right now? It's a WNT event. The production's great. You can't knock the production, but the problem you've got is that the WNT, for example, has been going about 4 or 5 years now. So when it first started, everyone's very excited, and you want to get your pro card, all that stuff. So that's what we all did. We all rushed around to get our pro tour card. So everyone's happy, WNT Pro, all that stuff. So the first year was pretty good. But obviously the WNT said, like, obviously the second year they looked to improve the prize money, and just keep improving and establish the tour. Second year sort of stayed the same. So you're thinking, well, let's give it a couple of years, let's see what happens. Year 3 comes, and then things started to decline a little bit without really anybody coming out and saying anything. For example, the World Cup Pool stopped, the World Pool Masters stopped, the Spanish Open didn't happen. So the only bright side is that they got the World 9 Ball in Saudi, and they put a lot of money into the tournament, like $1 million prize fund. So that was great. And then Barry Hearn played the US Open. He says, I'm going to up the prize money to 500,000 in prize money. So it was like 100,000 to win. So that was like a big jump for the US Open. So that was great. So those two tournaments were in good hands, good prize money, and a pretty good breakdown. So if you got to the last 64, you might get like $3,000, which is pretty good. That's the way all the tournaments should be. So then year 4 come, and sort of like went a bit static again. So yeah, what I mean by that is that nothing can improve. And the World Cup still didn't happen. The World Masters didn't happen. Spanish Open. So yeah, lost a few tournaments. And then obviously this year, all went a little bit like same again, like no World Cup, no World Masters, no Hanoi this year. So that's a big loss to the calendar, because I didn't play Hanoi, but by all reports, obviously everyone loves going to Vietnam. So yeah, losing tournaments is a bad sign. But not only that, they only gave you a calendar for the first 6 months of the year. In contrast to the Pro Billiard Series, they give you a calendar for the full year, which makes a huge difference to a pool player. And all the pool players, all we want really is a calendar, what we all can sort of plan our year around, plan vacations, get yourself, work out your schedule for the year. It's not easy, obviously, financially and physically get into these events, because the quicker you know, the better for everybody. But obviously, I understand the logistics. In pool is not easy. We're still a growing sport. We've still got loads to catch up to other sports. There's no doubt about that. But yeah, so it's all like a little bit play it by ear. So what I mean by that is that next week they might announce something, or the week after they might announce something else. So everything's like last minute, so you can't do any planning. So, but going back to the prize money, really is that like the Florida Open's on right now. If you live in Florida, great. I'm not too sure. I think you have to stay in the hotel actually. So yeah, I think the hotel's quite expensive, maybe $200 a night. So you got to look at the expenses of these tournaments. So the expenses for these tournaments, you're looking between $2,000 to $3,000. Even if you're American and you're obviously in Florida I mean, sorry, if the tournament's in Florida and you live in America, you still got $500 flight on average. You got your entry fee, let's say $350. You got your spending. I mean, you're there for what, 5-6 days? You're going to spend at least $100 a day. And then you've got your hotel if you're sharing. So you might get away with $2,000 if you're sharing with somebody. But if you're solo, like me, I don't room share at all. So for an international player like myself, you're looking at $3,000 expenses before you hit the ball. So this is the problem for me, is that, and this is the main reason why I haven't gone really, because I'm not a top 10 player anymore. I'm not going to, I don't desire to try and get back in the top 10. I just don't put the work in. If I did, maybe I could get there, maybe not. But yeah, I think that that fire's gone, let's say. But you want value for money, don't you? So the problem you've got is that it's $225,000 in prize money. So the only difference from, let's say, 5 years ago when they first started, when it was $200,000 to the winner, is that they've put the entry fee up from $250 to $350. So it's an extra $100. Let's say 256 players. On average, I think they're struggling to fill the field. So let's say there's 200 players. So $100. So you're looking at an extra $20,000 from the entries. And so the increase of prize money from 200 to 225 is just entry fees. So nothing's changed really since 5 years ago when the WNT started. But the problem you got now is that they're paying 128 players and playing single elimination from the last 128. Because obviously they want to go down the model of darts and snooker where it's just single elimination from round one. Again, that's okay if you win a match and you're guaranteed $2,000 or $3,000. Or you might be guaranteed some money for showing up, or you're guaranteed $20,000 in prize money before you eat a ball if you're a touring pro. So all that's okay, as long as you got that guarantee, but there's no guarantees, is there? So at the moment, let's say the WNT, for example, they have, let's say, 10 tournaments a year. So your expenses straight away, you don't need to be rocket science to know that your expenses are going to be $20,000 to $30,000 for the year minimum. And your expenses in pool are going to be a lot more than darts and snooker. The reason why, because the majority, or 50% of the tournaments with darts and snooker are played in the UK. And the majority of the players are from the UK. So their expenses are a lot less than ours. Where pool, it's a very global sport. On a global market, globally, it's a lot bigger than darts and snooker. No doubt about it. But our expenses are a lot more. And there's a lot more luck in the game. And we change formats, we change rules, all this stuff. So there's all sorts going on in pool what shouldn't be going on. So yeah, my biggest problem is the prize money breakdown. Is that they want to give most of the money to the top end of the field. So yeah, so let's say the Florida Open is $40,000 to the winner, which it is, and I think it goes 18 for second. And then like 10 for third, and it caters down. So unless you finish in the final 8, which is not easy to get to the final 8 of any tournament, but especially the WNT tournaments where there's 256 players. So it's not easy to reach the final 8. I think you're on like $6,000-7,000. So you make a little bit of money after tax and everything else. You might walk away with $2,000 or $3,000 in your pocket. Not easy to get to the final 8, is it? And then if you get to the last 16, I think it's like 4,000. So you might just be able to afford a steak dinner after everything, after your expenses, your food, all that stuff, pay your taxes. You might just be able to afford a ribeye steak if you're lucky. So then last 16, it's like, again, it's not easy, is it? It goes to 128 single elimination. So you go in 128, last 64, and last 32 to get to the final 16. And then the final 16 becomes 2 tables, maybe on TV, I'm not sure. Again, I think they've lost a contract with Sky Sports, so I don't know what's going on there. I think you have to go to WNT Live and pay your monthly subscription. I think maybe $10 a month. So that's, and it's not the end of the world, but only the pool players are going to spend that money. Like your regular Joe bloggers are not going to go on WNT Live and pay the monthly subscription. So again, that goes under the radar a little bit. Nobody speaks about it, that they've lost the contract with Sky Sports, I guess, for these tournaments. Nothing on TV. So then if you get to the final 64, that final 32, I think it's like $2,000. So you're still out of pocket. If you live local, maybe break even. And then final 64, you get $1,000. So just about cover your flight if you're someone like me, if you're lucky. And then the last 128, $350. I mean, come on. I mean, I did actually email someone at Matchroom, I think Henry, I think his name is, because there's a few new guys what I don't know, and I asked him, I says, whose idea was that to go 128 and the prize money distribution? And he told me in the reply, he says that at the European Open in Bosnia early this year, that the players, they'd put it forward to some of the players, had a little bit of a meeting, and the players voted it in apparently. So I'm thinking, I can't believe that's happened, that the players would agree to that prize breakdown. Going to 128, I've no problem. As I go back to before, if you're picking up $2,000 or $3,000 single elimination, who cares? I mean, to me, you start single elimination from round one if you're guaranteed some money. Or if you win one match and you're on 2,000 or 3,000, no problem. So I don't mind what they're doing, going single elimination from 256 to 128, long as you're guaranteed some money. But $350, I mean, so I'm like looking at that, I'm thinking like, what's the mindset there? Cover your entry fee? But what about your flight? What about your hotel? What about your expenses? So, and that's it. You get beat and you go home, $350. It's a little bit, to be honest. Look, $350, $350. If someone give me $350 now, great, thank you very much. But it's not going to change my life. It's not going to change your life. But the problem is that you're spending at least $2,000 or $3,000 to be at these tournaments. So to pick up $350, in my opinion, it's a little bit embarrassing. You put in the comments what you think, guys. But to me, it just doesn't sit right. I know that 90% of the players are not happy about it. I know a lot of them, they won't speak out. They're scared to speak their mind. They don't want to speak up. They don't want to upset people, and they want to protect themselves a little bit because they're in the mix for the Mosconi Cup or the Reyes Cup or the invitational tournaments, even though there isn't any at the moment. But yeah, I mean, so the players are under like the spell a little bit. They're a bit handcuffed, but they do speak behind closed doors. I know 90% are not happy about it, but unfortunately they're too scared to speak. Fortunately, I don't really care. Obviously, I'm coming towards the back end of my career. I'm still involved in the game. I probably always will be. But yeah, I'm one of them people that I speak my mind anyway. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why I started this podcast. At least I can put my own views across without any filter, really. If you're either going to like it or you're not. And the more that I do, the more honest I will be. The one thing I don't do is get personal. There's no room for personal when it comes to business. But yeah, I mean, you keep everything in-house. You speak your opinion on subjects. If you don't like it, you don't like it. If you like it, great. And I'm the same. Like, if you've got an opinion, your opinion's different to mine, no problem. It just means we don't agree. Don't need to fall out with people about it. And that's what happens a lot in this pool world, is that people do fall out, they do get upset, they do take it personal, and then everyone falls out, don't they? So for me, that's doesn't really sit with me, really. I just speak my mind, and you take me for how you are, really. And you'll probably find out as we go along. So yeah, I mean, not everyone's going to like you. Some people are going to like you, some people are not. And when you've been doing this business for 30 odd years, I've been over 30 years a professional now, combining English pool to American pool. So I've seen it all. I've done it all. I've seen it all. Luckily, I've had loads of success. Climbed the top of the mountain and I fell back down again. So, I mean, once you get to the top, there's only one way. There's only one way to go eventually anyway. But it's how you get back up and go again. So you find different paths, different ways in life, and yeah. So obviously, I'm doing slightly different things now instead of just playing pool. I'm definitely a part-time player, but I've still got something to offer on the table. But I know I've got a lot to offer off the table. So yeah, that's what I do. So yeah, just going back to the prize money. Really, it's just you just want like some consistency. So if you got let's say $200,000 in prize money, the winner should get no more than 20%. So the 40,000 is not the end of the world. But the problem is that it is if you're paying 50% of the field, you can't play 50% of the field. So for me, I think was it last year or a couple of years ago, they paid 64 players. Where to me it would have been better 65 to 96. Obviously, I have single elimination from the last 64, but at least pay something for the 95. The 65 to 96 guys, because if you win 2 matches and you get beat the round before the single elimination round, it's a bit harsh, really, to not pick something up. So if you pick them, give them like 500, 750, is not bad. And I actually put a prize money list up where I think the prize money would be half decent if you are going to play single elimination from last 128, where it would be like 750 for the 128. At least it's something. Then it goes to like 1250, 2000, 3000, you know what I mean, and so on. So it's not too bad. But yeah, with the lack of prize money, is that they'll have been best just making it double elimination to the last 64, go single elimination. Rather pay a little bit for 65 to 96, but then obviously pay a little bit more to the last 64 and last 32. They're the rounds really where you're still losing money, you know what I mean? And I think it's not right, is it? So why give 40,000 to win it? Why not make it 30,000? It's still a good first prize. I mean, plus you get your sponsorship money, you get your bonuses. So they top that up anyway. Plus they get the ranking, so they're going to probably qualify for the Moscone, Reyes Cup and all that stuff. World Masters, if there is one. So they're still picking up money from those events as well. So 30,000, you can sort of double it, really, to the winner, and then maybe go 15,000 for second. You know what I mean? So just break it down better. So at this moment in time, it makes sense. Where if you got the $500,000 tournament like the US Open, obviously the breakdown's pretty good because you've got more money to play with. So these are the problem, is that tournaments like the Florida Open and the Arizona is even worse. I think it's 128 players, single elimination from round one, and the prize money is half of what the Florida Open is. So you've got to get to the semi-final to make any money, and you're paying out at least $2,000. I know you're in America, so you're going to get a flight, going to pay your hotel, your entry, so you're still looking at 1,500, 2,000. So I think you have to get to the quarterfinal. So my mindset was I just had other work on. I'm thinking, well, I could spend, let's say, 5,000 or 6,000 play those 2 tournaments, for example. Let's say 5,000 minimum. Or I can go to Vegas, do a bit of marketing, do some coaching, play some cheap sets, whatever. And I know I'm going to make a little bit of money. And so I'm going to make money for being in Vegas for like 10 days. Where if I go to Florida and Arizona, I need to make $5,000 just to break even. So I'm thinking, well, look, if it was 10 years ago, even 5 years ago, I'd be going to those tournaments because I'd be thinking I have a chance of winning. But it's not what I'm saying. It's not going to be sustainable for the majority of these pros, probably 90% of these pros. It's not going to be sustainable. And that's what we've seen over the years. People drop by the wayside because they can't afford it. The backers are not going to keep backing you unless you start showing some results. So we need to sort that out. But WNT is not the only one what's off the hook here. You've also got the WPA events and the Pro Series. So I love what the Pro Series are doing. I love the people. Karim, unbelievable. The guys, what's running it. The staff, the referees, everything, beautiful. I like the fact that they mix the men with the women and they have junior tournaments as well. Not all the time, but sometimes they have junior tournaments as well. So they're doing a lot for the juniors. But I love that the men play the same venue, same time as the ladies. So you got the pro ladies events and the men's events, and you have like a mixed doubles. I really like that, even though I can't find a partner. Still looking for a partner. And yeah, good events. You know what I mean? Like small entry fees. I think you have to win like 2 matches to pick up like 3,000 or 4,000. So good value. And then they have these little invitational tournaments. Like I played Corey Jewel in a straight pool challenge in Vegas, guaranteed some money there. They had a bank pool, 16 players. There was all guaranteed money, and then obviously if the winner got like 16,000 or something. So it's great that they're doing all these events. And their main events, let's say the Las Vegas Open, again, great events. Their prize money's better than WNT events. They're paying out more prize money than the WNT. But again, the only downside with the Pro Billy Series is that their breakdowns are not too bad, but they're not paying enough players. So they've gone the opposite way. They're only paying, like, so for example, if there's only 64, like for example, if there's 64 players, because they have had a few tournaments where it's 64 players or 96, they're only paying 16 players. I mean, that's not right. Like playing double elimination to the final 16, and then going single elimination, but they're only paying the top 16. I mean, that can't be right, because now you can win 3 or 4 matches and not get a single penny. I mean, that's just not right at all. So if you, for example, I know they do it with the ladies as well, because a few of the ladies have complained, where if you finish 17 to 24, you might have won 3 or 4 matches. To not get a penny is unbelievable. So that's my only downside with the Pro Billy Series, is that they're paying too top heavy and they're not paying enough players. And again, it's not going to be sustainable, because their events cost you at least 2,000 or 3,000 also, unless you got great sponsors, and obviously you use that money to go to the events. Or you got backers, that's okay. But you need to be paying at least 33% of the field. Whenever you've got decent prize money, you can't just pay 16 players in a 64-man field or 16 players in a 96 field. If there's 48 players, then yeah, you pay the 16, so that's like 33%. If there's 64 players, then for me, at least 24 players should be getting paid. So the 17 to 24 guys, they should be getting something. And then if you got 96, then for me, 32 players should be getting paid. You know what I mean? And so on. So, and then if there's like 128, then the top 48 players should be getting paid. So then it should become like double elimination to the final 32, but at least the 33 to 48 guys, they get some money. So this is where the pool wheel's got to learn, because their expenses are crazy. So if you play, let's say, 10 major tournaments, so that's what I'm doing really throughout the last year or so, you're looking at $25,000, $30,000 in expenses. If you're like a full-time professional, let's say a Joshua Filler, Shane Van Bonen, Jason Shaw, all these guys, they're probably playing 20 to 25 major tournaments a year, from the WNT, the Pro Billy Series, and the WPA event. So what the WPA event, something like the Qatar Open, great tournament. Qatar Open, 1 or 2 others as well, I can't think off the top of my head. So if they play in 20, 25 tournaments a year, even if they just travel solo, and some of these take their partners or their family, like Jason, I mean, you're looking at like minimum $40,000 in expenses. Like if you're playing a full schedule, you're looking at probably $40,000 to $50,000 a year in expenses. I can't really think of another sport what does that, where you would be spending that much money with very little guarantee, if any guarantee at all. Luckily for those guys, let's say Joshua, Jason, Shane, they're probably guaranteed Moscone Cup every year right now, but I mean, it might not last forever. But not everyone is. Like I know there's lots of players like Mario. They play all the They play all these tournaments. Many good players. Many good players play all these tournaments, and they're not guaranteed in these tournaments. Where obviously Joshua, best player in the world, or Shane or Jason. Jason, obviously a big character. So they might be guaranteed Moscone Cup every year. Well, they have been for the last few years. So that's sort of like $20,000 to $40,000 guaranteed from Moscone. It just covers their expenses for the year. Plus they're probably getting the Reyes Cup. They might get in maybe one or two other invitational tournaments. So for those guys, like I was the same 10 years ago, I played everywhere. I was doing like 50, 60 flights a year. I didn't even blink. Didn't even think about the prize money because I know I'd at least win one of the major tournaments, or maybe two. So you just keep going, don't you? But when you like drop out the top 16, and that's what's happened for someone like me, or even the top 10, then you're like scraping the barrel. You're thinking, well, you're relying on your sponsorship money or the money you've saved up or whatever. So it becomes very difficult. So if you're a top player and you're traveling all these tournaments, or you want to be a top player and you're traveling all these tournaments, many players out there, Mickey Krause, people like that, just using Pegis, you know what I mean? All these guys, they're all going to be spending at least $30,000-$40,000 a year. But they're not guaranteed a spot in the Mosconi Cup and all this stuff. So we've got to think, we've got these promoters, organisers, whatever, WPA, WNT, Pro Billiards Series, have got to start thinking about the players, because you've got to make it more sustainable for these guys. You've got to be fairer for these guys. You can't just think, all right, I want to be the top dog by having $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 to the winner of my tournament, because WNT had 40,000, or let's say the US Open's 100,000. So you don't want to be thinking, right, I need to better that 100,000, so I'm going to put 40% of our prize money to the winner. No, there's no need. I think you get more respect from the players and most of the public if you balance it out properly and you give everyone a fair chance to at least cover their expenses, and then your numbers are more consistent. Then the players have a lot more respect for the tournaments, and take that bit of pressure off. So yeah, the prize money structures in tournaments have got to massively change. And then if we go to Chinese pool, look, the Chinese pool, the prize money is unbelievable. Whether that's sustainable, I'm not sure. I'm hearing a lot of rumours that next year Joy are stopping all their contracts with all the international players. So it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen with those. I think only Gareth Potts will keep his contract with Joy. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with Joy and their tournaments going forward. I've heard that the prize money is going to drop because the owner of Joy, his goal was to get Poole in the Olympics. I think that's 50-50 whether that happens. And he's obviously put millions and millions and millions of dollars into Poole. It's unbelievable. But it can't be sustainable, can it? Because most of the foreign players were getting their flights paid, they were getting their hotels paid, their entry, everything. And even like guys what like not really professional, like semi-professional or amateurs, were still getting their hotels paid and their entries, so they just had to get their flight there. I mean, it's just not sustainable, is it? So, yep, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the Chinese events, especially the Joy events. It's great what they've done for Poole, but again, like, I've played quite a few of their events. I've got to the final 16 a couple of times. I'm on about the last 2 or 3 years here. I got like $5,000 for finishing in the final 16, which is not bad. But I was there for 2 weeks. Like, the tournament's gone way too long, like 2-3 weeks sometimes, and there's like 3 or 4 different stages. I mean, it's just mind-boggling. It's hard to follow. It's just, and then you have like crazy races, and they go up and go up and go up. You're thinking, what's going on here? You're like shattered by the time you get to stage 3. It's just mental. And then you end up walking home with $5,000, but they take the 20% tax off top, so you end up with what, 4,000. But you've been there for 2 weeks. You're thinking, well, I probably could have made that staying at home, doing some coaching or whatever, or play local tournaments. You know what I mean? It's just mad, isn't it? But then it goes like, let's say the final 4, you might get 50,000 for 4th, you might get 100,000 for 3rd, or 80,000, and then second place gets, let's say, 150,000, and then the winner gets like 700,000. So it's just crazy. 250, like most of their tournaments are like 250 to the winner, 250,000 to the winner, which is great. But then it goes like 100,000 for second, and then there's a massive drop to 3rd and 4th, let's say 50,000, and then there's a massive drop. It goes like 15,000 for finishing top 8. So if you get to top 8, it's not too bad. Well, I don't even think it's that. It's like 10,000. So there, I mean, so even their events, you need to get to the final 8 really to make it really worthwhile after taxes, the money you spend while you're there for 2 weeks. So yeah, it's not easy. The prize structures in the pool world are just crazy. But then now and again, you get a few carrots, don't you? Like the World A-Ball Tour, for example, where they're like $15,000-$20,000 to the winner, 64 players and no Chinese players. So that's a nice carrot for those guys. Like, no disrespect, they're very good players like your Jordan Shepherds, Arfan Dad, Stephen Ellis, all these guys, Jack Whelan, Clint Ianson, who have really benefited from it. I haven't played in one yet, which is a bit silly, really. Yeah, and they're picking up like 15,000-20,000, and I think the World Championships. I mean, that's another thing. How can something be called a World Championship when none of the best players are in the tournament? It just blows my mind. So they have a A-Ball World Championship. I think it's in India in a couple of weeks, and I think there's like 64 or 128. 64 players, but there's no Chinese players. Well, 99% of the best players in the world live in China. And I think it's decent money, like 40,000-50,000 to the winner, but there's no Chinese players in it, but they call it a World Championship. So again, it's just all false, isn't it? False advertising again. And unfortunately, that's the state of pool, isn't it? It's just, it's all like a little bit scatty still. The only good thing is that it's got potential. If everyone worked together, everyone like got on the same page, pool will be absolutely massive, especially American pool, because it's so global. It's the biggest discipline out of all, like 9-ball or 10-ball or 8-ball on American style pool tables is globally the biggest out of the lot. And then obviously you got the Chinese pool, and then you got English pool, Ultimate Pool UK doing all right, it looks of it. But again, there's 2 or 3 different disciplines there, so I'm not too sure what's going on. But Ultimate Pool USA, obviously they're doing the 8-ball, looks like they're doing pretty good. So again, I don't really know what their prize money is with regards to breakdown. I'd have to have a look. But yeah, I think the prize money structure for all you organisers, promoters out there, just think about the players who are spending, even if it's your local tournament. Like, so let's say I go and play the Philadelphia Open, and I live in Philadelphia, or I used to do. If you got a hotel to pay, your entry fee, and you're spending, you're still looking at $1,000 there. So you got to think about these things when you're organising these tournaments. So that's my biggest thing I would say really is prize money structure. Just think about the guys who are not in the top 16 or the top 10. You got to try and make it a little bit more sustainable for them, a little bit more inviting. Because a lot of these events, the productions are great, like whether it's W&T, Pro Series, the A-Ball events, the WPA events, whether it's Qatar, unbelievable tournament. The World 10 Ball in Vietnam, again, great venues, great tournaments. But yeah, so that's the prize money structure needs to improve big time. My other gripe really is with the Pro Brilliant Series is is changing tables. I don't like when the one tournament you go to Apex, next tournament you go to the Hark. Look, the Hark's the best table by a mile. Stick with it, stay with it. It's an amazing table. Very happy with it. Most of the players are very happy with it. The rack's obviously very difficult to rack the balls, but so that sort of it softens the blow a little bit playing those race to fours, win a break. If the rack was easy, then that format would be no good, but it sort of works because of the break. Yeah, just try and be more consistent with things with the prize money breakdowns and stuff like that, and then the players will follow and everyone will be happy. So yeah, that's the big thing really. Prize money structure, that's got to improve big time. Also the rankings as well. I was thinking about the rankings earlier. We've got to get rid of these prize money rankings until there's better structure. Because you can't have one tournament what pays 200,000 to the winner or 250 like the World 9-Ball Championships, and then the UK Open get 40,000. It just makes no sense because they're both as difficult to win as each other. Maybe there's a bit more pressure, obviously, to win the World 9-Ball, but the field's more or less the same. So to have a $220,000 difference in prize money, so that means I have to win probably 9 UK Opens, 10 UK Opens to get the same prize money as the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so I need to win eight UK Opens to get the same prize money as the World 9-ball championships. I mean, it doesn't make sense, does it? So if I win, let's say, 8 out of the 10 WNT events, and at the end of the year, I'm not ranked number 1, people are going to be tapping on the shoulder and saying, well, you've won 8 out of the 10 tournaments. How come you're not world number 1? Well, it's just hard to explain, isn't it? It's not hard to explain, but it's just wrong. It's just wrong. So the prize money structure, ranking-wise, has got to be better. Distribution's got to be better with the prize money for these tournaments, especially the majors. But for me, the ranking should be, unless we get to darts and snooker level, then prize money is not a big issue, is it? Because a lot of the tournaments pay really good money, but pool's obviously not in that position yet, and I think we're a long way away from it. So that's the problem, is that the lack of prize money. It's all right having prize money as ranking, as long as you've got every tournament paying really good money. And there's not a massive gap between, let's say, the World Championship prize money, US Open prize money, and the UK or Florida, and that's the problem. So it's like a bit like Yap, really. I think he won, 3 or 4 tournaments, and he was still not number 1 in the rankings. So, yeah, I mean, that needs to change. For me, it should be done on points. I've always said that, and I always stick by that. So, yeah, just the prize money, the rankings need to improve. So all the rankings are a bit false, aren't they? The true number 1's not really the number 1. So-and-so, I mean, I don't even know where I am in the rankings there. But then you've got the WPA rankings, which is done on a point system, which is better. But, again, not too sure how the points work there. So, yeah, what's more important? Is the WPA rankings more important or the WNT? I'm not too sure, to be honest. Obviously, the official world rankings is a WPA, so I'm not too sure even who's number 1 there. Maybe Joshua. And then you got, I think, Yap. Yap has finally become number 1 on the WNT. So, yeah, I'd like to see more structure, better consistency, and players being able to stability and make just better prize money where it's more sustainable for everybody. And once we do that, the game will improve big time. So, yeah, that's where I am with all that for now. So, like I said, this season's been a bit of a weird one, hasn't it? Been a lot of missing tournaments, a lot of last minute. Hopefully next year things improve on all fronts. At the end of the day, I'm a pool player. I want everyone to succeed. You just want a fair game for everyone. And you want the game to go in the right direction. That's what it's all about. So, yeah, I'm going to go to America, see what I can do out there. And then, so I will start doing, at least do a weekly podcast like this. And then eventually, when I do get back, I'll probably get some guests on the show. And then start thinking ahead regards which events I will do the watch-alongs, which I think will be very interesting. Right, yeah. So right now, obviously, they're playing the Florida Open. I know you can watch the early rounds on YouTube. Go on the WNT pool website, Matchroom pool website. I know the ladies World 10-ball championships happening right now, and I know that Margaret Steyer, she's in the final. So congratulations to Margaret. I'm not too sure she plays in the final. Maybe Chenko, maybe. So yeah. A lot of good things happening right now. It's been a good few weeks for the ladies. The men's are playing the Florida. They've got a big stretch now. The guys chasing the Mosconi Cup rankings. It's all been a bit quiet this year with the Mosconi Cup, especially on the European side. It's like nobody's really showed too much of an interest, but I would imagine now August has arrived and the tournaments are finally starting to rev up. It's like the WNTs took a long time to get going this year. There hasn't really been much going on, except for the UK Open and the European Open. I can't think of any major tournaments what they've had. So, but now they've got a big stretch coming up. So, big period for the players. These next 3 or 4 tournaments are massive for the players, and these are the guys what will probably cement their spot in the Mosconi Cup. I think even after the US Open, they announced the first one, and then I think the final picks are after the Philippine Open, maybe. So yeah, and that's another thing also, clashing pool tournaments. I mean, it's not easy because the calendar's so stacked and everyone's last minute putting these tournaments on. So yeah, like I said, next year it'd be great if everyone worked together and the calendar's really improved, and then players can start to figure out their schedule better, and that will benefit everyone going forward. But anyway, it's my first podcast. Hopefully I get better at them. I hope you all enjoyed it. So yeah, just give you a quick insight to what I'm going to be doing and talk a bit about pool, have my little weekly rant, which I like to do. And then, yeah, look forward to doing some more. And thanks for everyone for tuning in. Please subscribe, like, and share the page. And, yeah, hopefully we can build something great together. All right, guys, I'll see you all later.